Welcome back, Seeker of Knowledge. Accessing Memory Segment 69, Fortuna. Allow me to guide you.
Initiating in 3, 2, 1.
Venus. Located 47 million kilometers away from Earth. This icy, frozen wasteland wasn't always home to animals like the Kuberdons and Verminx or the cyborg-like people living in Fortuna. In the old days, the Orokin used their technology to regulate the planet's temperatures, scorching hot to life-supporting conditions. After being inactive for an unknown amount of time, the Corpus restarted the coolant towers, mishandling them and terraforming the surroundings into a frozen wasteland, endangering wildlife and eventually draining the planet of its resources. After a while, the nature adapted to these new weather conditions. Lush glowing mushrooms and trees filled the region with life. Mountains and hills riddled with caves offered valuable resources for the Corpus or Tenno alike. Inside the Orb Vallis, one of their colonies is called Fortuna, a tower-like structure reaching deep into the earth connected to the surface via big elevators. Fortuna is run by Nef Anyo, the Corpus plutocrat, who is ordering slaves to maintain the terraforming machinery. The stationed workers,
The so-called Solaris, are forced to work in this internment to decrease their debt.
directly distributed by the Corpus for their crimes against them. With unrealistic and impossible demands, the Solaris are sentenced for life. Repossession, a simple word every Solaris fears. It happens when demands are not met and a repo squad enters Fortuna and captures some of the workers.
When they return, they have various body parts replaced by machinery, intended to increase their working efficiency,
Forcing them to work even harder to eventually pay back for their new bodies. Inside the Solaris are members of an old rebel group called the Solaris United. Their goal? To liberate their fellow laborers forced to operate freezing Orokin machines until they die.
This group mainly consists of 6 people.
Yudiko, the resistance leader. Rude Zug, a gunsmith. Thursby, a MOA engineer. The business, working to maintain endangered wildlife. Smokefinger, providing mining equipment.
And Ticker, handling debts of the Solaris. Under these 6,
There are additional field agents working in secret. Together they tried liberating their people once before.
their old base, Deck 12, was completely destroyed by one of the Orb Mother's giant Corpus spider-like bots.
On Venus, they ensure the Solaris are kept in check.
After this incident, Solaris United was basically disbanded and forgotten.
The Tenno eventually make their way towards Fortuna after receiving a distress signal from the business. Under Nef Anyo's cruel regime, especially Thursby's future is looking grim. He's behind in meeting demands, and to make up in lost time, he tasks the Tenno to steal valuable resources from stationed Corpus inside the Orb Vallis. After flawlessly completing this task, Thursby recommends bringing the fight back to Nef Anyo, only to be cut off by Yudiko. Their channel hasn't been encrypted, and Thursby's plans are already compromised.
Yudiko tasked the Tenno to prevent information reaching Nef himself.
Back in the colony, intel is revealed how the Repo Squad has a list for potential repossession for Solaris field agents. Yudiko directs the Tenno directly to their last known position. The Tenno is too late, but only half of the squad has been killed.
Following the leads reveals the rest of them having been captured.
Pursuing the Repo Squad leads to a small prison where the Solaris agents are held.
Breaking them out causes too much chaos. Eventually, Nef Anyo himself speaks directly to the Tenno, telling him how this will cause trouble for Thursby. Intel from the open channel still got through. Back in Fortuna, Thursby is barely surviving the repossession of almost his entire body.
Yudiko's fear to lose even more people force her to arm the Tenno with a bomb. She announces the return of Vox Solaris. Her name is the leader of the rebels. Nef sends the Prophet Taker Orb Mother, forcing the Tenno to retreat back into the colony into a stalemate. With a K-drive hoverboard, provided by children living inside the Fortuna vents, the Tenno slips past the Orb Mother and rigs the coolant tower to overheat. All this is watched by Nef's investors, threatening the complete destruction of his fortune in the Valles.
Still under Nef's rule, they negotiated to stop repossession and more independence from the Corpus.
Solaris is making the Orb Vallis function.
Without them, there is no profit at all. Nef Anyo retreats, leaving Utico to manage a safer home for the Solaris, as well as planning further bounties for the Tenno to completely free them from Corpus control.
The Tenno and the Solaris now work tirelessly to build a brighter future. They intercept Corpus attacks, steal resources, capture outposts, and even destroy the giant spider bots restlessly wandering the Orb Vallis. Between the Solaris, hope is rising once more. Sharing their pain and struggles, they all live together. Besides the daily conflict, the Valles holds more secrets than is visible to the naked eye. For what purpose was it made by the Orokin? It is rumored to have been a gene forge,
entirely built to manipulate and create life itself, now buried deep in the frozen grounds of Venus.
In case of an outbreak from whatever was made here, the Orokin made sure that no one called the Orb Vallis their home. Besides missing most of their bodies, the local Solaris have many stories of other unsettling incidents to tell. And those mushroom trees do look weirdly familiar. Closing memory segment.